0 to 60 can define a performance car, but it's the fastest 60 to 0 that's the aim of Tarok's brakes. From road cars to race cars, circuits, special stages, or the autostrada, nothing reduces speed like Tarok's brakes. Italy gave the world the art of Da Vinci and Michelangelo. Tarok's has given drivers the art of stopping. For more information and to acquire your own masterpiece, visit taroks.co.uk. Yes, it's me, Mike Stone, and this is the Backseat Driver Podcast. Welcome back to the Backseat Driver Podcast and part 2 of Retromobile 2023. I am here at Retromobile with the one, the only Gérard Gaumont, editor, author, racing expert, a man of many talents. Gérard, welcome to Backseat Driver.
Thank you very much and welcome to you.
How did all this come about? Because you are the editor of a very, very successful and very respected motorsport magazine.
Yeah, because I'm a fan of motorsport from 60 years now. So I have a great experience and many archives. And when I started the magazine, it was 13 years ago. It was easy for me because I know the history from 60 years. So I can transmit the full story, possibly the French story for the French brand. And because I am very interested and I drive from 40 years in historic racing in all the category, Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1 with the Tyrrell. So I have a great experience of the driving and great experience of the writing, and I write many books for the French brand.
That is one thing I noticed in France. Formula 2 was an extremely important formula, unlike England and various other places. Is Formula 2 still a big thing in France, or has it died away as in many other countries?
No, it was a long story because Les Trophées de France was an important part in the beginning of the 60s. And it was no European Championship. It was a Trophée de France. And it was in Rouen, Reims, Pau, etc. And all the British drivers come in France to drive in the Trophée de France. And since this epoch, every French fan are very interested by Formula 2. And after, the French constructor like Martini, like AGS, and some other, Matra of course, and Alpine, built single-seaters in this category.
The one thing I've noticed over the years is historic motorsport and classic cars in France. It's incredibly popular and very intense compared to other countries in Europe and in England. The French are passionate about their old cars and their old motorsport. You are able to reflect this in your magazine.
Yes, it is not like in England. England is the make for the historic racing. But in France, we have a lot of championship. And I've started the first championship for Formula 3 historic in 1988. And it was a great success. And after, I have created the first European Championship for the Formula 2 in 1990. And all the British drivers come in this championship. And after, I give the hand to other organizers. It was Dutch Mine, and after the HSCC now.
France gave us circuits and racing. Okay, in the early years on the roads, they closed roads down and formed a circuit. But France it's full of circuits. Wherever you go in France, you can find a circuit. How did all this come about in many ways? I mean, well, no matter where you go, you can find a circuit and somebody racing on it.
Yeah, because the story, racing story in France is a long story. But after the war, the Second War, every town in France want to have a Grand Prix. Yes, really. It was a lot of Marseille Grand Prix, Caen Grand Prix, Dieppe Grand Prix, and so. And so after, some circuits are still existing, like Pau Grand Prix, of course. Monaco, of course. It's not in France, but same. And after, a lot of Montlhéry. And after, a lot of tracks are built, like Dijon, like Paul Ricard, so it was a great interest. And during the 70s and 80s, it was an important part for the public.
And do you think this will be able to carry on as things change and attitudes to motor racing change? Do you think the French will continue unabated with their historic motorsport?
It's complicated. It's complicated because a lot of towns are under regulation, and a lot of people hate the racing cars for the noise, for the pollution, for something like that. And the regulations are more and more difficult. So when some organizers like Grand Prix de Pau try to maintain the competition, it was a great effort. And we support all this effort.
Now, one of the books you've written it's like the sensuality of driving a car. What gave you the inspiration of that? I mean, as somebody who used to do it, every car will talk to you in a different way, but it's translating this through to somebody who has never driven a car, a performance car. What gave you the inspiration, and how did you go about translating a thought into the words?
Every car are different. I have the big chance to drive more 100 racing car, like McLaren Can-Am, like Formula 1, Formula 2, so. And I'm in love with the driving. This is my real interest. For me, the most important is single-seaters, because it's the summit of racing car. It is absolutely passion for Formula 1. It was a great chance to drive the Tyrrell 009 during 2 years in championship, and was the best year of my life. And now a lot of people ask to me, would you drive my car? Would you test my car? I have never do any demand. It was always the properties who said, excuse my bad English, it was always the proprietor who said, would you please drive my car? Because they know I have a long experience, and so they're in confiance. And so I can try so many cars, but it was always for the same thing, pleasure of driving.
Do you still race today, or have you hung up the helmet?
Oh, I'm very sorry, but I have take my license from 2 years now because I'm too old. I'm really too old, and I cannot want to be no competitive, to be at the end of the people. I'm not interested by that. So I just do the demonstration.
And of all the cars you've driven, which is the favourite?
It's complicated. One of my first car was a Brabham BT21, and it was so difficult to learn to drive quickly. I have won many races with this car, and it is a part in my heart. But the much better was the Tyrrell 009. It was a fantastic car.
Gérard Gaumont, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Long may you reign, and long may you keep producing this fantastic magazine and your books. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you.
I'm once again at Retromobile 2023 with Lionel Defoe. from the Musée des Arts et Métiers. Is that correct?
This is correct. The Musée des Arts et Métiers in good French.
What exactly is the museum?
The Musée des Arts et Métiers is the French National Museum of History of Technology. And it has been created in 1794 during the French Revolution. And this is the very first museum of inventions.
Right, because I notice here we have what I surmise is a steam-driven vehicle from a long while ago.
Yes, it's called l'obéissante, which means it always says yes. And it was created in 1873 by Amédée Bollé, who was a French builder of rings in church.
I'm going to say Amédée Bollé is known in England for his invention of vehicles. So must be one. Is this one of his first ones?
It is his first vehicle, the very first he used to transport his family and to transport things he has to use for his work.
Does it still go? Is it still used?
No, we don't use it anymore because it's very old, and we don't want to take the risk of break it because it's old and fragile. So,
what other vehicles does the museum have within its displays?
The museum presents the Fardier de Cugnot, which is the oldest car of the world. It has been created in 1770 by Nicolas Joseph Cugnot in the east of France.
And once again, are there any vehicles in your collection that can drive about, that can move about?
No, the vehicles of the collection are very old, so we don't use it anymore.
Where did you get them from? How did the museum come to acquire them?
Well, there is many possibilities. In some cases, people gave the objects to the museum. This is the case for l'obéissante. The sons of Amédée Bollé gave it to the museum in 1934. And in other cases, the museum can build cars, or for example, there is cars shown during universal exhibitions, which goes then in the museum. There is a lot of possibilities.
So most of the vehicles you are very kindly given then, because they are so old that the families give them to you.
Yes, because it's big, it's heavy, so this is in the house. It's better in the museum.
I mean, but though they aren't used anymore, do you have people who look after them within the museum?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Are there people who look after the vehicles? They will see them and do things to them and repair them to keep them in the state they are in?
Yes, there is a team of restorators in the museum which take care of the vehicles.
And looking at the address, it is a Paris-based museum.
Yes, it is in the very center of Paris, in the 3rd district of Paris, and it's one of the most ancient museum of technology in the world, so please come in.
Lionel Defoe from the Musée des Arts et Métiers. I hope I've got that right. Thank you very much for joining me on The Backseat Driver.
Thank you very much.
I'm here at Retromobile in Paris with a young American gentleman called Ron Skoma, who came out with a staggering comparison. If you buy cocaine, you've too much money. If you buy too many cars and too many books, you aren't spending enough money on cocaine. Ron, welcome to Backseat Driver, an American who is renowned for his collection of cars and collections of books.
Thank you.
When did all this start?
When I was 18 years old. I forgot how long ago it was, but it was quite a while. So, yes.
What caused it? What suddenly made you want to collect books and cars?
Well, I was 18. It was time to get my own car. I bought the 25th anniversary issue of Road and Track, which I still have. And I thought, well, this is nice. I should buy an MGA, certainly within the budget. And it took off from there.
So, what cars do you own and what cars have you owned and how big's the collection?
I've owned about 70 cars. The cars I own now, I have a 1947 Delahaye, an MGTC, Bentley Continental T, Mercedes-Benz Pagoda, a Mercedes 0319 bus, which is affectionately referred to as a rusted piece of something. And a few others, some AMG, pre-merger AMG cars, Triumph, so that's about it.
And do you use them all?
Yes. There's different cars for different purposes. If it's a sunny Sunday, you like to take a ride in the country, you wouldn't take a Bentley, you'd take an MGTC. Consequently, if you're going out to dinner with a lady, the Bentley is more suitable than a TC.
And the books, apparently you can buy books. We've already been looking. Apparently, within a short period of time of arriving here in Paris, you bought 14.
Your information is a bit old. That may have been true yesterday. We're up to 21 today.
And are they all car books?
Yes.
Any particular type of car books, or are you just a general broad brush of what you buy on cars?
Just a general broad brush. Whatever interests me. If it interests me, I'll buy the book. If it doesn't, then I'll still buy it. But it'll get put in the pile to be read eventually.
And do you live here in France or over in America?
No, I live in America. I'm in the Chicago area.
All right. So, that, from what I can gather, it's quite an interesting city, is Chicago.
Interesting is a very good word, yes. Yes, it's very interesting. Some of the things, we have high taxes, and we're not allowed to deduct from our taxes the cost of a bulletproof vest. But other than that, it's interesting, yeah.
And the classic and interesting car movement in and around Chicago, what's it like?
Very vibrant. As people get older, we went from car meetings to various luncheons. And instead of the car channel, it should be called the food channel, because we have meetings at restaurants literally every day of the week.
So, besides buying cars, buying books, driving cars, you can be entertained every day of the week by doing something associated with four wheels.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes, there's no shortage of that. On some days it becomes a bit of a problem because you'll finish one luncheon and have to hurry up to get to dinner for another group. So,
what, apart from the fact it was probably built by Boeing, what brought you over to Retromobile in Paris?
I've been coming here since probably the late 80s. There are things I could find from my collection here that I'm unable to find in the States, books in particular. Some titles just never make it across. Never make it across.
Are you enjoying yourself here?
Very much so.
Ron Scombe, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Thank you very much for joining me on The Backseat Driver.
Thank you.
I'd like to introduce to the backseat driver, Jan Janou, a man with an artistic talent and a passion for motor racing, especially Le Mans. Jan, welcome to the backseat driver.
Thank you.
Where did all this come from?
Oh, it's come from when I was a child. My father already loved cars, loved driving first. He never went to a race, but he gave me this passion. And alone, I went I went to this car area, more competition area, and I think one of the first thing I did when I get the driving license, is to go to Le Mans.
I suppose that's one of the great things. A Frenchman in France and Le Mans, which is considered to be the greatest race in the world. It's also considered to be the only holiday the French host for the English, because I think it's safe to say there's as many English at Le Mans as there are French.
Yes, for sure. Le Mans, it's a kind of part of England during the 2 weeks.
When did you discover that you had a talent to paint?
I don't know if I discovered that once. The thing is, I knew I always wanted to work in the car area. And then I start my studies more to go for engineer aerodynamics. And I didn't feel easy, in a good shape for me. So I changed my mind and I was drawing before. And I decided to go for design school. So I worked for 1 year on my side to present something for the design school. And then I entered Center College of Design from Pasadena. I did that and I finished graduate as automotive designer. But at the end, working for a big company, that was not my aim. I'm kind of work really alone more.
Well, the problem if you work for a company is you have to draw and design what they want.
Yes.
Not what you can draw what you want, but providing it's what they want. As an artist, you draw and design what you want for you.
Exactly, and the other thing is that you have to deal with politics inside a company. So I was still in contact with a lot of people, but still working for design company. I'm sure. They just tell me the story, so I know I was right at the time. So that's why I decided to go more for cars. For painting. And the thing is that with this school, it helps me to understand how a car works and the line, and so that I have the base to do that. But I didn't want to do illustration. That's not. For me, there was no reason. There's a lot of people who were doing really splendid illustration, but I wanted to show more the emotion, comment on dit force?
It's a little bit like saying when you look at a car, stationary, you're looking at metal.
Exactly.
And various other things. It's only when it starts to move does it take on a character.
Yeah, it's coming to life. In fact, it's not only when the cars move. It's also when crews or people are doing something with the car. You see that there is a link between the guy and the car, and you can tell a story about that.
Looking at them, I'd say your art is a form of impressionism. It shows what the car is. It is not a detailed drawing of a car. It shows the car in action that come to life.
In action, the main lines that just represent the car and define the car, and your mind has to do the work just to build the car around this line, and it's quite easy if the lines are at the good level. So
now the other thing you've done, you've started to produce books which once again represent your art, but they are very specific. The books they focus in on certain things, certain cars, certain races and things like that. How did the books come to be?
Oh, the first one I done it by myself, and because I don't do prints. first, or really.
So everything's original. There's nothing you can't buy. One of 68 type of thing.
No, not really. But I do have yet. But at the time, I didn't have any prints. So, and because I saw a lot of collectors that they just buy in prints, put it in a case under the bed, and they have plenty of prints, and said there's no reason for that. So it's better to do a book, so people can just look at it every time, anytime, and so that's why I went to that for the first book. The second book is about Le Mans, and that was another way to. I know a lot of people did write about Le Mans, but my aim was to do something really fluid, and with a short story, with the main scene you need to remember. And I know already it's a book, so you can just open it. It's not a big book. You can open it and see 58, for example, know which car was it, which driver, and a small story of the race. So
because it's a book you don't have to read from the front to the back, you can just open it and read anything at any time.
Exactly. And if you're looking for a special year, you have to open the right page, and that's it.
Well, the other thing is, while you're trying to find that right page, there's other pages you will stop and look at.
I hope so.
Have you any more books looking like they will happen?
I'm working on the book again about Le Mans for the centenary. I will know this Saturday if the book will come out. It will be based on this book, but updated and with a bit more stories. And if I'm doing that, it's still with one of the writers who was the director of the SEM at the time. So the SEM was the before in the 90s. He was the director of the race.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, and that's this guy who wants to update the book. So that's a good idea.
Now, if somebody wants to look at your work, not here in France, you have a website, and your Facebook page is just Yann Genoux.
Yeah, exactly. I still have a website, but you can still see some paintings, but I'm not updating it anymore. It's doing some. I'm too old for that now, and so Facebook, it's a lot more better, easier. So I'm using that, and you will see also other stuff than just cars. I'm doing landscape, portraits, something like that. Mainly cars, competition cars, but I'm doing also other stuff.
Yann Genoux, it's been a pleasure chatting to you here at Retromobile 2023, and can I wish you all the best, and I look forward to the appearance of your new book. I'm here with Freddie Frott, or Jean-Frédéric Fro, as it should be pronounced, when we're in France, but we're back in England now, for a little Retromobile retrospective. It's the first time I've been to that show, and I must say it's fantastic. But Freddie is a regular there. Freddie, welcome back to the Backseat Driver.
Welcome to you, Mark.
What was your opinion of the show? I mean, from my perspective as a first-time attendee, it was magnificent. There's cars there that you normally only see in magazines or books, and there they were in the metal. But the French enthusiasm for classic cars is indescribable. I mean, these cars are magnetic for them.
Yes, the Retromobile was a particularly good edition this year after the pandemic, of course, and the 2022 edition, which had to be postponed, which had to be rearranged, attracted about 80,000 people. This time 135,000, so it's back to its normal attendance. And Retromobile is far more than just a car show. It's also a great big fair where people come to see the cars, and there were plenty of cars we hadn't seen before. but also to meet friends, to find the part that has eluded you for repairing your car and so on. So an exceptional edition this year, yes.
You described it as more of a fair than a show because the cars are there, the people are there, but the visitors are allowed to wander around them and talk to them. Okay, there's cordons around each stand, and certain cars, like the Ferrari 250 Le Mans that shifted for 25 million euros, yes, there is a little barrier around them. But, I mean, in the main, all the cars and all the owners are accessible.
Yes, it's been the tradition. Retromobile started in 1976 and was in fact a very small affair held at an old train station in Paris. And it was more, at the time, the clubs were meeting together, and that created that sort of atmosphere. And also the exhibition tries to be more interactive, involving the people with the cars, which actually are pushed outside the hall and demonstrated rolling about, taking passengers on and everything in front of the show. So
that's the tough stuff, isn't it?
That's the tough stuff. That's right. Yeah, we're talking of vehicles which are from the dawn of motoring, which potter around in front of the hall at 5 miles an hour.
You need a new speed gun, because one or two were definitely doing a bit more than that.
Well, some of them dare to go flat out, which will be 10 miles an hour.
But, as I said, the French enthusiasm for classic cars, and the French enjoy shows where the cars are moving. Here in England, we have shows where everybody goes and parks in a field and strolls around and everything else. The French go out and do little convoys all over.
Oh, yes. And even people turn up with their cars and drive in into the show, just on the outside of the hall where it all takes place. There is a very, very strong movement of vintage and classic cars in France, and the number of events which are coming about every year is increasing all the time.
And the one interesting thing is, besides their love of French cars and Delage, Bugatti, Delahaye, Talbot and all the rest of it, the French quite like English cars.
Oh yes, there's a huge movement of the English sports cars, because the French manufacturers weren't making the Austin Healey's, the Morgans, the Triumphs ever. The closest to a sports car was the little Renault Caravelle with an 1100cc engine. If you wanted something with class, with a bit of wood on the dashboard or something like that, you had to buy an English car. And they were very, very successful throughout the 60s and 70s.
Now, I visited you on your stand, Vintage Revival Montlhéry, and had a very, very enjoyable lunch, or shall we say, I think I did, from what I remember. I mean, your stand was in association with a museum. How many people did you attract? Because you had some incredibly old cars there.
Yes, we were privileged to have, as a guest on our stand, the National Automobile Museum of Turin in Italy, and they brought the most fantastic 1892 Peugeot Type 3, which was the first car to ever being driven on Italian soil, bought by a wool magnate who bought it, and the car was driven from Paris to Turin. And the car works, and we pushed it out, started it, and did some little laps of the hall with it.
Right, and this year's Vintage Revival Montlhéry, when is it?
The next one will be 2024, and it will celebrate the centenary of the circuit. And that is why we're trying to attract as many cars which were involved with the records and the races which took place.
And is it this year the Festival of Sloth it's in France, isn't it?
This year it will be in France. It's an event which was created in England and which we now share with the English counterparts of the Sloth. And this year it will be in Burgundy, and we are just preparing because it will be in June. And we've invited the most quirky little cycle cars that you would never see otherwise, and we'll drive them in a little rally, and we even have a hill climb, because we are in fact a pastiche from the Festival of Speed, but none of our cars can go beyond 30 miles an hour.
The other thing is, another requirement is, if your car is capable of covering 10 miles or more without breaking down, you're banned. You will incur a penalty. We hope that most of them will break down, and in fact, we have doubled the number of recovery vehicles to 4, which we think might be enough. I mean, it's fascinating. This, to my mind, though you said it's an English event, is typical of what the French get up to. I mean, the French classic car and vintage car enthusiasts, from what I could see at Retromobile, are all distinct characters.
The difference between the two is that it's very difficult in England to find a road that's quiet enough that the police will let you close for half an hour or something whilst the vehicles are passing. Whilst with a bigger territory, more roads, and Burgundy is the ideal place for that, we can actually take the cars for a short distance on the roads.
So, Retromobile 2024, will it be bigger and better, do you think, than this year?
We hope so, because we are already cooperating with the show owners to have a celebration where we will have a village of the great French marques. And that will involve the Delahaye, Delage, Bugatti, and so on, and display cars which were at Montlhéry in 1924.
So it's always at the same place, it's always at the same time of year, and it's easy to get to.
Yes, it's on the limit between Paris and the suburbs at the Port de Versailles in the south. And very easy access, and takes place the first week in February.
Freddie Frott, thanks again for joining me on the Backseat Driver. Rarely beaten on price, never beaten on service. Whether it's cars, bikes or commercials, Hodder Tyres are the best in the business. And when it comes to tyre expertise and advice to supplying the correct tyres for your vehicle's specific requirements, nobody comes close to David Lakin and the Hodder Tyres team. So give them a call on 01200 613 192 or visit the website at hoddertyres.co.uk.